Greetings, everybody. Michelle Black here with Kingdom Travels. I have definitely missed you guys, but we are back, getting back on track. A lot of things, great things have been happening for Kingdom Travels, and we're always grateful. All right, with that being said and done, let's get started. Michelle Black here with Kingdom Travels, providing you your 100 travel tips. And the last travel tip we left off on was travel tips numbers 22, 23, and 24. So to make this a little bit easier on my company and me, we're going to pretty much give y'all 3 travel tips each time that we come on. So with that being said, we're going to be doing travel tips numbers 25, 26, and 27. Now, I am really loving travel tip number 25. Travel tip number 25 is booking through a travel agency. Yay! Yes, all respect. I know there's some of you out there that love doing your OTA, online travel agency. That's fine. I'm not going to knock you. But trust me when I say booking through a travel agency will take away so much stress. And you get additional incentives. Listen, booking through a travel agency, you actually get what you want. Because if you have a good travel agency, such as Kingdom Travels, but anywho, if you have a good travel agency, they will go the extra mile in making sure you have and receive what you want, when you want, and so forth. For an example, I have been working on an itinerary for a client. My client is in a wheelchair. And I told my client that I am not going to make them being in a wheelchair prevent them from having the best trip of all times. I have been working on this itinerary for the past 3 weeks because it takes extra time and speaking with the people at the resort to make sure that I will be able to accommodate my travel clients' needs. All right? It wasn't as simple as, booking air, and all that wonderful stuff. It wasn't as simple as that because my particular client had additional needs that needed to be met. And I wanted to make sure, actually it's their honeymoon. I was creating a honeymoon package for them. And guys, when I say I have spoken with the travel suppliers, I have made sure that he would be able to join his soon-to-be wife. The travel suppliers was like, oh yes, we'll bring in extra team members, make sure we put him by a special area where he'll be able to have access, bring in extra team members to assist. And guess what? They said no charge. That's the benefit and incentives that you receive when you go through a travel agency. Because if this person was to have done it on themselves via online, they wouldn't have had the extra help. It is what it is, or that person may have lied and said, oh, we don't accommodate that. But when a travel agency calls and be like, this is Michelle Black of Kingdom Travels, I'm calling in regards to my client, they say attention. Because if they do well for us, we will bring back more people to them. And that goes the same for travel suppliers that does excursions. All right. With my client, I was able to get them on a trolley tour. They're going to go on a sunset cruise. And they're actually getting on the cruise, not say ship, but boat. And these people went the extra miles to make sure that they provided me the necessary information to make sure that he is able to get on the boat. Because not all boats are wheelchair accessible. Come on, guys. You can't beat that. Now, don't get me wrong. It took, oh my goodness. I called over 15 resorts at this destination until I found the right one. That's how much work it takes. You're not going to find that online. I'm just going to be honest. So booking a travel agency to do your travel is prime, it's worth the money and the investment because you're able to experience the type of trip that you will like to experience. So I'm going to pause on that. So, having a travel agency has its perks. So that's travel tip number 25, booking through a travel agency. Now, tip number 26 is boarding the plane. So you're traveling. You got to go through TSA. You have to go through, if you're going internationally, customs. Word of the wise, bring your wallet, your passport, and your phone with you when you board the plane. Do not you already have your phone you should already have these items with you. But just make sure that you always carry them for everybody. Do not put them in the suitcase after you check in and show it to the flight attendant desk clerk. And then you be like, oh, let me put them in my suitcase. No. Carry these items with you when you board the plane. You may say, oh, Michelle, I was going to do that anyway. Trust me. There are people out there that do not carry their wallet or their phone or their passport with them when they're on a plane because they're thinking they can protect it that way and they don't want nothing to happen to it. That is not the case. Okay? So make sure when you board the plane, bring your wallet, your phone, and your passport if you travel internationally, or any types of IDs for you and your travel companions. All right? All right. Also, when boarding the plane, before you even board the plane, guys, just be prepared. Take off your earrings, ladies, any medals. If you have medals in your body from surgery so that the TS agent know, then they'll take you to the side to manually scan you. When you're going through TSA to get ready to go board your plane, some places say you can take your shoes off. Some places don't require. I do know when I went to Charlotte for New Year's Eve, some people went through with their shoes on. I went ahead and took my shoes off because I didn't know and I didn't feel like going all the way up to that scanner and they tell me, oh, you got to take your shoes off, and I got all these people behind me. Also, when you put your items in those bins, make sure you watch your stuff because there's people before you, and sometimes your bin will go through the scanner before you even got through the scanner. So before you board your plane, make sure you watch your stuff when you're going through TSA and make sure that you examine whoever's in front of you, because if they try to get sticky fingers and you got to go run after somebody, you know what they look like. All right, so that's travel tip number 26. Now, travel tip number 27. This is a funny one. Try not to drink alcohol. All right, so guys, let me just say this. Yes, you want to take a sip here and there. But if you're already going to be stressed trying to get to the airport, if you have more than one travel companion with you, tackling all that luggage, going through TSA, going through customs, we do not need you tipsy. All right? We do not need you under the alcoholic influence because the people will pick it up. And if you get agitated and irate, you won't be going on a trip. So just do us a favor. No alcohol getting to the airport. And even when you get on the plane, I don't think they've been selling alcohol later unless you're in first class or business class. But even if you get on the plane and you have that option, don't drink no alcohol. Just go to sleep. Relax, relate, release. All right? Because it is. If you can't hold your liquor or your alcohol, and you get irate and all that, or you get too comfortable and you start saying all kind of stuff and doing all kind of things, y'all know these airports are not playing, especially with COVID. They have enough people they have to deal with for not wearing a mask and everything else. And they will take your butt off the plane, no questions asked. You irritate those flight attendants, you might as well hang it up, because if that flight attendant go and be like, hey, we have a person on the plane. Just because of what that flight attendant said, your butt is about to be put off the plane. Trust me, going to Charlotte and coming back from Charlotte, that happened both times. One guy didn't want to wear a mask, and another woman, she didn't want to wear a mask. And because the flight attendant said, okay, you not want to wear a mask, they went to the front, made their phone call, the police came, escorted them off the plane. Even after the person was like, okay, I'll put my mask on, they was like, no. So, no alcohol. We want you to be as sober, clear-minded as possible. Follow the rules so that you can get to your necessary trip destination as quick as possible. So, we provided you 3 travel tips on today. Travel tip number 25, book your travel through a travel agency. Travel tip number 26, what to do before you board a plane and as you're boarding a plane. And travel tip number 27, try not to drink alcoholic drinks or beverages before you get to the airport or even during your transition through the airport or on the plane. All right, guys, this is Michelle Black with Kingdom Travels. Look forward to receiving the next travel tips numbers 28, 29, and 30. We look forward to providing you all the information that you need to know regarding traveling, because there's never too much information to know when it comes to traveling. Be blessed, everybody. Know that we're here, prepared, and ready to serve you. You can reach us at 346-917-0048 extension 1, or you can email us at info@kas-llc.com if you have any questions. Be blessed, everybody. Take care.